Before we start our discussion, let me introduce ourselves. I'm Precious Lynn M. Sueco, and these are my group mates. Ariel Duhinog, Shannon Boliros, Ashley Gimari, and Laika Borhal. So we will discuss about POLYA'S problem-solving strategy. As a programmer, we face problems every now and then. In order to start the program, we go through the basic steps. Currently, there are a lot of problem-solving strategies that was discussed in GE 112 or mathematics in the modern world. However, we chose the POLYA'S problem-solving strategy because we saw its effectiveness in trying to solve the problem in programming. The POLYA'S problem-solving strategy has 4 steps to follow in order to solve a problem. Same with in programming, there are also 4 basic steps to follow to start the program. So the first step in POLYA'S strategy is
The first step in POLYA'S strategy is understand the problem. In programming, we also have the problem definition that we need to understand before planning. You cannot start a program if you can't understand or identify the problem. If the client or the teacher wants you to create a program, read the program carefully to be able to understand the problem and think about the solution. Once the problem is read, you need to list all the components and data that are involved. This is where you will be assigning your variable. And the second step is
And the second step is to devise a plan. In programming, we also have the problem analysis. After the problem has been adequately defined, the simplest and yet the most efficient and effective approach to solve the problem must be formulated. When you devise a plan, you come up with a way to solve the problem. Setting up an equation, drawing a diagram, and making a chart are all ways that you can go about solving your problem. Third step is
The third step is to carry out the plan. This is where you solve the equation you came up within your devise a plan step. In programming, we also create an algorithm design and representation like pseudocode and algorithm. All the plan and understanding are executed in this part. Once our previous basic steps is clearly defined, we can now set to finding a solution. The last step is to look back. This is where you check all your works and interpret the outcome. Basically, check to see if you used all your information and that the answer makes sense. This crucial step, since this is where you will know if you have your work correctly. If your answer does check out, make sure that you write your final answer with the correct labeling. In programming, this is where you code and debug, which means it is the process of detecting and removing of existing and potential errors, also called as bugs, in a software code that can cause it to behave unexpectedly or crash.
To conclude, Polya's problem-solving strategy is a great strategy that we can relate into programming. So even if this was created a long time ago, this is still relevant until now. The Polya's problem-solving strategy is clearly a great strategy that we can relate into programming. And it has 4 steps as mentioned before. And it is also as simple to follow, but it generalizes well. And that is why it has become a classic method for solving problems. Also, it was a well-organized process that if you follow it correctly, you will surely solve the problem. And as a programmer, the problems are always there that needs a solution. So Polya's approach can really help to solve the problem efficiently since it is so organized and can help not to build any confusions.
so that's all our discussion. Thank you for listening.